What's happening, Lighthouse crew? If you know of me, or don't know me, my name is Imani Simon, and this is the Lighthouse Podcast. Welcome. I got some tea today because allegedly it's gonna be a cutthroat message, but we'll see where spirit leads me. Sit back, grab your apple or some chips. Still in the audience. Um, yeah, get comfy. But today's podcast title is Stop Blaming God for Everything. So I'm gonna give y'all a couple seconds. If you gotta leave, you feel uncomfortable, go ahead and go now. This is the perfect opportunity. Stop blaming God for everything. Real growth happens when you start taking accountability. And it's just as simple as that. And I'm only sitting here and I'm saying it to y'all in this manner because I had to live it. I walk it. Um, yeah. So what does that look like? And before you start to feel attacked, your prayer life is going to tell you how much accountability you take. And so take a minute to really think about your prayer life. What are you praying for at night? What are you asking and hoping God will, come through and do for you? What are your requests? And so I see a lot on the media. We're like, oh, I'm just praying for a car. I'm praying for a relationship. I'm praying for money. I'm praying for the career. Like, would. But you're praying for a lifestyle that you right now can't even sustain. Okay. Breaking this down is saying you praying for money, but you need to be praying for discipline, right? So we're asking God for materialistic things. I can't speak for everybody, but my life changed when I stopped asking for materialistic things and start asking for things that only God can give me: wisdom, peace, discipline, obedience, stewardship, ownership. Like that's what I started asking God. And that's when the money started coming. That's when the people start flowing, the conversation start having. I'm having motion, and not even in a material money sense, but like in the networks that I'm making and connecting with, the conversations I'm having, everything just starts to align because, like we talked about in the last podcast, when you start finding you start finding purpose. And so, right back at that whole thing, I, in the Bible, it says, of course, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's good. But there's another one that says, you can't put new wine in old wineskins because like the pressure from the new wine in the old wineskins, it will burst the wineskin. And then once the wine, touch the ground, I mean, it's no good. Once it touch the air, it's no good. And so looking in that, you got to take it back to the verse that talks about, that God is not going to give you more that you can handle. Right. And so we're praying for these things. And it's not that God doesn't want to give it to us. He wants to give it to us. He wants to give us, what we desire. You know what I'm saying? But if we're not ready for it in the spiritual, in the physical, whatever, if you're not ready for it, we're not ready for it, we can't have it. You see what I'm saying? And so I think a good example of this is like, oh, in a card game, they'd be like, oh, like it's just the cards that you dealt, right? It's just the cards that you dealt. And sure, it could be cards that you dealt, but it's like recognizing that you can have a choice of how you play the deck of cards. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm a hooper. So in basketball tense, this is like, okay, say you got two bigs, your bigs then got hurt. Okay. You playing against a team. At this point, it's all guards. Everybody under, 5'6", 5'8", it's just a team of guards, right? When we're playing against them, our strategy is gonna have to be different. You know what I'm saying? We understand that, hey, are you serious? Are you serious? Okay, sorry, y'all. I had to cut there because my dog won't quit crying. Cool. So, okay, yeah, the basketball game is all guards. So we got to come in with a different strategy. Not only are we going to play defense different, so we might try to two man the bigs, to have some more defensive pressure. And then we're going to make sure we're switching off and playing very great help side defense. And we're going to be scrappy. We're going to be scrappy. We're going to get in there. We're going to like try to get all the loose balls. We're going to be picking at it like, because we little, we scrappy, we fast. And when we get on offense, we're going to stretch the floor. Like, I know y'all big. I'm going to pull you out here and you can tango with me. So if you want to come out slow, I'm gonna shoot it. If you come out fast, I'm gonna get past you. I'm gonna either lay it up or I'm gonna hit somebody in the corner. Like so, okay. So I say all that to say you gotta make it happen. Make it happen. It don't really matter the cards that you dealt. It's not. It doesn't matter. Make it happen. And the only way you make it happen is understanding that you are in control of your own reality. I'm sorry to say that to some folks because it's like, oh, everything is just in God's hand. Yes, yes, it is. And there's always going to be things that you can't control. And the things that you can't control, you give it to God. We believe that. We know that. But the things that you can control, you need to be controlling. And that starts with accountability. Oh, God, why don't I have no money when it come time for the first? But all throughout the whole month, you was making careless decisions with your money. You did everything before you put your money aside for rent. So God made sure you had the job, He made sure you had the finances, but because of your habits, now when you need the finances, you don't have the finances. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is not supposed to be judgmental. This is not nothing. Because like I said, everything I'm saying to y'all is because I've lived it. I've lived it, and had to come to that place where I did not like the way that my life looked. And on the outside, everything looked good, everything flowing, woo doo woo. But internally, I did not like my reality. And I had to wake up one day and say, yeah, this is it. Like, I'm not living this way no more. Like, and literally got up and did something different. Like, okay, let me give y'all an example. Um, I was before I got my apartment, I was at my parents' house for a little bit that summer. So I'm saying that summer like it was a while back, girl. This was last summer. I was back home for a little bit. Um and I just knew like once, June, July, August, I gotta have a crib in ATL because I gotta go back to school. You know, excuse me. And so I was just believing God. I was doing what I need to do. I was doing the apartment searching. I was making sure I made the budget right and, put money aside. And I did the things that I was supposed to do. Right. And I'm like, man, like it was just stuff happening, like not necessarily financially, but it was just like the apartment place not calling back. These people trying to up the price. This people that moved in before me. Like it was like, I was like, okay. So it was a couple of things that I realized that was in my control. I realized that was not in my control. I put my applications in. I put it in a couple different places. I'm seeing, you know what I'm saying, what can shake loose. Other than that, that's not in my control. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you give God. I did, right? But the other half of that, it was like, oh, like when I, get my apartment, I'm gonna stretch every day and I'm gonna make sure I eat breakfast and whoop, whoop, whoop. And God was like, how are you gonna wait until you get the blessing to be the person that's in the blessing? How are you going to wait for the blessing to be the person that's living in the blessing? That's what we mean by always in the state of becoming, right? Like you have to be the person that you see in your dreams before the dreams happen because you're walking in it. The future is the present and the present is here and then the past is already gone. You feel me? Like And so, like, if you understand, you understand. I don't, but just saying, like, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, y'all. Hmm. Sorry, y'all. Somebody ain't want y'all to hear that. I done lost my train of thought and everything. I had to go back and replay the video. Anyway, always in a state of becoming, right? And so going back to the story, it's like when God told me that, I said, okay. And so that next morning, I got up and I started stretching. I made sure I did my meditation, I did my yoga, I got up, I made breakfast, and I did that every day leading up to me getting my apartment. And I say that to say that it's important because I didn't have to necessarily make a new habit when I was in the blessing. Like at that point, all I had to do was just be. You know what I'm saying? Got my apartment, set everything up. Boom. In the morning, I'm doing yoga. Boom. I'm in the kitchen. I'm making food. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, it had been a habit. I had already been walking and being the person I needed to be, the person that I seen in the vision that had the apartment. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to take that and do that in our lives in general. You know what I'm saying? If you see yourself and you're like, yeah, when I walk into the store, I'm going to get the things that I need. And if I see something I want, I'm going to get it. Oh, like, woo, woo, woo. If something aligns with me, I'm going to speak. Oh, I'm going to speak to everybody in the room because I feel confident. Woo, woo, woo. Like, do it now. Do it now. Like, if you see yourself in your vision, you're like, okay, I'm speaking in front of crowds. Put yourself in positions to be speaking, even if that's in daily conversations, talking around on people, joining certain clubs that can put you and give you a platform to, speak. It's like we can't keep waiting. And, I'm not going to dive too much into this topic yet, but, I feel like Christianity has taught me to wait on the Lord, wait for things to change, accept long suffering, just wait and wait and wait and soon. And some of y'all, I'll be watching y'all have been waiting for life. You have been waiting for life. I had to find something else to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's not no shade. That's not nothing. That's me just being 100% real. I'm not finna wait. And so God, show me what I can control because I'm about to do it now. And I just, it's like I said, I'm not gonna get too deep into it. But my partner, she had a TikTok playing, and it was like, yeah, I've been out here trying to build a tree when God was telling me just to plant the seeds. I'm like, okay. So I'm listening now, like I'm like, okay, what's this about? And she's like, you know, God was like, hey, you're gonna have this business and whoop, whoop, whoop. And so off the beat, she, emptying her savings, she's, you know what I'm saying, making the vision happen that God gave her. And so she was in this place now, like after she had just been, kind of dried out, tired, going broke, all these other things. And she was like, God, I'm doing what I need to do. I've been obedient. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And she said, God told her that I told you to plant seeds. I got the tree. Right. And so it hit me in a place where it just was like, the seeds is my control, right? God give me the vision, okay, cool. I know I want to be an anthropologist. Okay, I know I want to be a professor. Okay, I know I want to serve. Okay, what does that look like? Start planting seeds now. I'm going to start looking into, programs, that's great master's programs. I'm going to start looking into what that can look like for a career. I'm going to start studying Zora Neale Hurston. Why? Because those are planting seeds. I'm not going to jump out the gate and be like, all right, I'm finna go to Japan. I'm going to stay out there and that's just what I'm going to do. And if you call to do that, do that. But God is telling me just to plant the seeds. So I'm looking at different programs. I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm planting seeds. So when the time comes and God is ready to make that a tree, I'm prepared. The seeds are rooted. It's nourished. it received nourishment, excuse me. And so it's like that's once again bouncing back to accountability. Accountability stems here and saying, you know what, God, like I did jump the gun. You gave me the vision, and I didn't see the order. I didn't let you order my steps. It's not God that let the business fail. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just your steps wasn't ordered. You see what I'm saying? And that's something that you can change. God, in my prayer life, it's a God, order my steps. I know that you have this vision for me. Help me get there in the way that you see fit. That's taking accountability. Not saying, oh yeah, well, the business failed, it's whatever, God just hurt me and I'm done. Once again, you're trying to plant a tree. God said, let me handle the tree. You get the seeds, plant them. And so we really do have to stop blaming God for everything. And that was my biggest thing. My life literally changed when I stopped blaming God for the things that was going wrong in my life. And I even learned the real term, like the real definition of humbleness. You know what I'm saying? And when God is doing something in your life, being humble is not just like, oh yeah, it's all God, or saying, oh yeah, it's all me. It's that beautiful tangle that's in the middle that's saying that I'm doing this dance with God. You know what I'm saying? Like I asked him to feel me and I'm walking in it. I asked him to show me and I'm doing it. Like that's why God created us. So we can be him. You know what I'm saying? And really just be able to be different expressions of what he looks like. That's why we all have these different gifts and these different loves and passions and purposes, because we're all here to serve and do different, like I said, service is everything. I get on a tangent about service, y'all. But just saying though, like it gets to that point when you have to recognize that God is within you. And so you walk because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like not saying that the only reason that I walk is because it is. But I have to get up every morning and put my 2 feet on the ground and say, all right, God, let's do this. He's working through me, through me. You know what I'm saying? While I'm working through him. It's like I said, it's that beautiful tango. And that's what real humbleness is, understanding that God chose you to do it. He chose you to do it. And so walk like that. God chose me. That's the pep in your step. God chose me to do this. And that's real humbleness. Like it's that beautiful in between of knowing that you align. And so once again, circling back, and I think I'm gonna get ready to close here, but accountability and gratitude. Accountability and gratitude. Um, Once again, accountability is not saying that, oh, everything is my fault. No, some things are out of your control. Some things are out of my control. You know what I'm saying? But also saying, okay, God, the things that I could have done different, show me. Let me learn from them. Let me move on, source, whatever. It's like you ask, for strength. That is something that God can give you. You know what I'm saying? And that means his strength is made perfect in our weakness. That's something that's God given, not God just let me get a new job. Yes, still pray for the new job. But, also just intertwining both material and spiritual things, only gifts that God can give you. You know what I'm saying? And so take a look at your prayer life, and what does that look like? Are you taking accountability for your life, or are you letting life pass you by because you're waiting on something to save you? And I mean that in the most loving way possible. Ain't nothing finna come and save you, girl, boy. Ain't nothing finna come and save you. Why? Because God told you. He told you. If you're reading that Bible like we say we do now, God told you that everything pertaining to life and godliness, it's in you. It's in you. Dig in there. Dig in there and get it. And then when you see it, when God shows it to you, reveals it to you, Ask for God to allow you and to build you and help mold you into the person that is in that vision, that is in that desire, that is in that dream. Help you become, help you remember. But not that God do it for you. We really do have to get out of that mindset that, oh, just let God do it, and He will. It's gonna be certain things that it's just gonna be miracles, and that's just God. You know what I'm saying? But majority of the time, you gotta hold some weight, man. You gotta hold some weight, and that's the beautiful part about it, though. It's not a negative message. It's a positive message. Why? Because if you understand that you can change your reality, that you have the power, that God is giving you the power to speak over your life. Life and death is in the tongue. Life and death is in the tongue. God gave you the ability to change your reality with that thing, with this vessel. You can change your reality. That's a good thing. So look around you, look in the mirror. What do you want to see? Now ask God to back you with that. Ask God to be in front of you, behind you, to the sides, as your angels, your ancestors to guide you, whatever suits you. But you gotta walk this thing. That's why we're here. Let's walk this thing. Let's walk this thing together. Okay? But I love y'all, and this message is completely out of love. And I say that because, once again, y'all, I live this thing. Like, I'm not gonna get on here and tell y'all I just seen on Instagram. Like, I had to be on my knees, and God be like, "Girl, get up and do it. I gave it to you to do it. I gave you everything you need to do it. Get up and do it. I'll give you my strength. I'll give you my comfort, but you're gonna have to go and get it." And I say, "Yes, sir." Straight like that. Straight like that. I love y'all. Lighthouse crew. I'll see y'all later. Keep being light bearers and keep being the change to the world. But first, gotta love yourself, man. Out.